Hello everyone and welcome back to another extra video on Ark Survival Evolved. I am Mr. HickUp, and I've had some comments asking about some of the mods that I've used, so I thought I'll cover the mods today, and I'll try to start putting them in the information box below along with all the Patreon, Discord, and all that. I start trying to leave a list of mods that I actually use. For the first one, we have Super Spyglass, and this is going to be an open source, which I do believe means that it has been opened up for people to make modifications to, that the person who created it is not taking care of it anymore. But how this works is you get the little crosshairs and everything, which is a little bit more than your basic. You know what? Hang on a second. Let's go ahead and go create a regular Spyglass so we can compare these side by side so you can see the difference. It seems like probably a good thing to do. So this should be the regular Spyglass here. Let's craft that. Put that in slot number 2. Okay, so they look the same, but they function completely different. So we see that dodo in the distance. Let's go ahead and look at it through a regular Spyglass. First off, you see that we have no marker to tell us where the center of the screen is. So we got to kind of get it in the center of the screen and guess, and then we got to right click and then find our target, and then that's it. We got tunnel vision. We see that one little spot. We're not able to zoom in and out, and we see that we have a wild dodo level 4, and that is it for the basic Spyglass. That's my dino. It shows the information for that. Okay, now if I click 1, you'll see that we have a little marker come up. So now I can put the dodo in the marker, and it's going to go ahead and bring that information up for us. We don't even have to bring it up to zoom it in. There's our information. There's our information on our mammoth. So now, when we bring it up to zoom it in, it doesn't give us tunnel vision. We can still see everything that's going on around us. Now, if we take our roller bar on our mouse, we can zoom right up in on that dodo just like we could the same image that we got with the other one. But now we're able to zoom in and out and kind of see what's going on. So you can zoom way up, see stuff from way in a distance. Okay, now the next thing you may have noticed is it gives you some additional information. For example, our mammoth is level 163 male, which the regular Spyglass gave us that information, but that's all the information that it gave us. And it does the same thing on the wild dodo here. Dodo level 4 male. That's the same information that the regular Spyglass gives you. But in addition, I want to use the mammoth because it's staying still, but you see that this dodo shows the same things. So in addition, it gives us stamina first, which is 1432. And it shows that out of 163, 21 levels of that 163 have been pumped into, or not pumped, but have been put into stamina. Now if we go to this dodo, you're going to see that it shows a 1 and a 0. It's level 4. We got 1 in stamina, we have 1 in oxygen, and then I guess the rest is in weight. No, we got 1 in health, 1 in oxygen, 1 in stamina, and then the other one has to be base level, I guess. I don't know, it should show 4, but I don't know why it's only showing 3. But anyways, so that's the way that works. And the reason this one shows 4 is because we've pumped 4 stamina on our mammoth. So 21 naturally, 4 we've pumped. then it shows food, then it shows oxygen, and then starting on the right hand side it shows weight, it shows melee, and it shows movement speed, and then down at the bottom it shows health and it shows torpor. So when you're trying to knock something out, you can just bam, there it is. So I'm going to toggle over to my sword, which we're going to act like a gun. Shoot, shoot, toggle back. What's torpor? So that way, if you have one of those animals that the health versus torpor is a real issue of killing them before you knock them out, you can just pop back and forth, and it works like a magnifying glass, as well as a spyglass, but it works at a distance, so you don't have to be right up on them. So I think the spyglass is an amazing tool. I use it all the time. I'm talking about all the time. I love it. Matter of fact, right now we're going to go do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to get rid of that one, because to me, with having this mod, that's not worth having. I don't want it around. I prefer this all day long. It's an amazing tool, and that's called Super Spyglass. It's an open source mod. Okay, the next two are by the same creator, and that's Awesome Teleporters and Awesome Elevators. So I'll show you Awesome Elevators because that's pretty simple. So you have 3 different sizes. So this is the medium size, and if we go out here, I put a small into the greenhouse area. So this is the smallest. It's 1 foundation or 1 ceiling, and you can see through it. You can see that the sand and everything's below us, and you see where it says settings. As long as you're not on it, you hit settings, and you can change the who can use it, the colors, and all the keys. Which, if I turn this Q and E keys off, then it probably wouldn't do it. But then it also gives you a little place where you can donate if you like to do that. So here, changes the color, changes the brightness. I like just a little bit of blue and green in mine, and it gives it that nice mellow. I have had trouble with mine keep reverting back to the old color, and they're pretty bright, but it's not really a big issue. So this is the medium size. As you can see, it takes up a 2x2 area, and then they have the very large size, which takes up a 4x4, and it is massive. I use this up here in my barn to get the Uteranus's and the Managarmra up and down. So I don't know why you would ever need anything bigger than this. This would do Rexes. I guess if you was going to do Titanosaurs and Gigas, maybe. I haven't tried that, but I don't think so. Wyverns, possibly. I haven't tried Wyverns yet, but I have tried the Managarmra, and it worked fine. So it's pretty simple. You stand on it, you hit space. You can also use E. So this is E, Q, E, and it's just going up and down levels. Now C and space does the same thing, which, like, if you was in the water and you want to go up, you hit space. If you want to go down, you hit C, and that's how that works. Pretty simple design. Works with dinos. Works awesome. I love it. Don't have to have stairs. It doesn't take up room. So just in the middle of my base, I usually pop them in. And this is an extra mod. I don't use it all the time, but it's pretty handy. So then you have the Awesome Teleporters, which is what I had a question about. And move these guys out of the way. These guys are from a breeding series I've been doing the last couple episodes, so go check out the Island Solo if you want to see more information about those guys. So The awesome teleporter. So we'll look here real quick. This is it as a mod. There are in-game teleporters and stuff like this, but this is the mod, and it works the same, but it's more compact. Also takes less resources. So as you can see, 20 cement paste, 20 crystal, 50 electronics, 60 metal ingots, and 20 polymer. That's pretty cheap. Anywhere that you have one of these, you can travel to. You can also travel to the obelisk and the tech cave here on the island. But you always the obelisk. On other maps it's a little dangerous to travel to the obelisk because sometimes they have dinos there. So you gotta be careful with that. This is the remote. So, as you can see, I have that in my number 8 slot on my hotbar. So let me show you how that works real quick. So, if I was off somewhere, and my Ankleo doesn't belong over here, so let's move him. And I wanted to come back to my new base, which is what this is. I haven't officially named it yet. It brought us right back to this point. There's the cat and the owl, and so I just brought him around here using the teleporter, and that will do that from any location on the map. If you hit that, it will bring you your dinos or whatever back to whatever teleporter you want to. So now if I hit teleport, it brings up all my locations. It brings up my last remote location, which will take me back to the side of the house where the Ankleo was, because that was the last place I used it. You have blue obelisk, green obelisk, red obelisk, and the tech cave obelisk that it will take you to. And then I have some others, as you see here. Let's go ahead and go to our starter base. And you can see how big of a circle it does. It's about 3 foundations wide. So here's our starter base, and it was that simple. It's an amazing tool. Takes out a lot of grind. We just went across the map. I don't know if y'all guys realize that or not. My base is up in the top right hand corner, not too far from Carno Island. And now we're down here in the bottom left hand corner of the map. So we just teleported all the way across the map that quick. Amazing tool. I absolutely love it. But like I said, this and the awesome elevators are made by the same people. Now, say you put down one and you didn't name it and you don't remember where it's at. So you simply go up here to the map, and this is where my base is at. It is right up here. See, last remote location, new. That's where my base is at. We teleported down here to South Zone 1. So as you can see, I have them all over the map here. And there's a couple of them that I have set out that I had problems with all my stuff disappearing that I haven't reclaimed yet. So there's actually some more on the map. Now, the next thing I'd like to tell you about with the awesome teleporters is, if you look in here, you will see there's this little target looking thing too, and it's an awesome dino tracker. Now, I forget to use this all the time. I think I've placed it on one dino this entire playthrough. So if you go here, okay, thought it was there. Is it not there? Hang on. Find dinos. Okay, it's in cryopod. But I had it on an RG I was using to get my RG back, because if you make these, what does it take to make? I don't have that here at this base. It takes a little bit to make, so, but it's not bad. It takes a little bit. I don't think I have that here at this base. I don't. The prime meat's what's going to get me. Anyways, you put that in your dino, you hit E to consume. This never breaks, this never goes away. That dino has that from now on. Now, if you come here and you want to find your dino, you come here, hit find dinos. It pulls up a list of all of them that's got a tracker. Now say you were out in the redwoods and you lost an RG. You got killed and that RG's still out there fighting stuff, and you don't want to go all the way back out there to get it. Find dinos, pull it up, find that RG, pull it to you. It'll actually teleport that dino to you, or you can teleport to that dino. So that is amazing for when you get in those tight spots. And that's something I need to do more regularly. It's something I always forget about. Alright, let's move on to our next mod. So let's see, we've covered Super Spyglass, we've covered awesome teleporters. Classic flyers. Let's talk about classic flyers. I don't believe I have any here. So we're going to use our awesome teleporter, and we're going to go back to our new base where I have some pterodons. So classic flyers is just that. It takes you back to a time before they smurfed flyers. And simply all it does is allow you to pump movement speed. That's all it does. That's all this mod is. For your flyers, gives you movement speed. And as you can see on this pterodon, I have 9 levels. Let's go ahead and pump one into movement speed. Now it's 140. Pump another one, it's 142. So that's what all, classic flyers does for you. Is this allows you to pump levels back into movement speed before they smurfed the flyers way back in the day. Now, however, if you look here on the snow owl, I cannot pump movement speed on the snow owl. I don't know why, but with the snow owl, it does give you a speed increase when you breed them and you imprint. So that may be the reason why. I'm not sure, because with every other dino that I know of, well, thought I had an RG down here. The RGs, the pterodons, the Quetzals, the Tapageras, you can pump movement speed in all those using that mod, which I love because I hate an hour of flying to try to get across a map. That's why I have the awesome flyers and the classic flyers and the awesome teleporters. I'm combining my mods all together now. Wouldn't that be awesome? But anyways, I play with auto Engrams, and the only reason I play with auto Engrams whatsoever is so I can give you guys more content, so I don't have to worry about not having enough points to be able to do something. In my private personal game I play with my friends, we don't do auto Engrams. I personally don't like it that well, because I feel like it takes away that excitement of trying to unlock that next thing and get, you know, this going or that going, and it makes the grind more fun and being able to get those things unlocked. Like I said, I use auto Engrams on here simply to give you guys more content, because I don't want to not be able to do something. In case there's anybody out there that don't know what that means, is when you go in here and you look at your Engram points, as you level up it gives you a certain amount of points. See down here it says points available minus 4,195. Because I have the auto Engrams, it's giving me everything, and without that you have to pick and choose what you want to unlock as you go down through here, and you don't have enough points to unlock everything. Most of you have played before and you know the frustration of that. I personally like it. Like I said, it adds an element to the game, and it helps me with the grind. Plus, when it gets to metal tier, I don't do a whole lot of metal stuff. My buddy does, so he learns that, and I'll learn something else like saddles, and we work together that way. So you kind of have to plan that stuff out in your tribe when you're doing those things, instead of just having everything unlocked like I do. Of course, for this series, I'm solo on the island, and like I said, I don't want to not be able to do something for you guys. I want to be able to make everything and show you everything, so I do play with auto Engrams. And so the last thing is Structures Plus. And Structures Plus has been around for a while. It's an amazing building tool. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. We'll just look here at S Plus. Of course, you have the multi-tool, which I have a video where I kind of covered that a little bit. So feel free to check that out. The Omni tool is just a transfer tool. Works just like the gun does, except for you can choose how you want to transfer stuff from one source to another source. And it could be your inventory, a dyno's inventory, or a storage unit. You can just freely transfer stuff back and forth. The S Plus fire pit simply just allows you to have more slots to put meat instead of just those 3 spots where you have 1 food and 2 meat. Now you have several spots to be able to cook a bunch of meat at one time. The foundations, I think, look a little better. It kind of fills everything in, so you don't have to do the walls and whatnot. All of these was originally, before they put it in the base game, was able to be picked up at any time, and it still is. You don't have a 30-second time limit. You can just pick these items up. So once again, the mortar pestle, stuff like that, it just simply gives you more inventory room. But that's basically it. I also noticed that the snap points are improved with the Structures Plus stuff. So everything fits properly, and instead of just, sometimes you get that where it's just off a little bit, and like you're at the finish of your build and everything just won't quite come together like it's supposed to. The pillars are also easier to place and easier to work with. Now when it comes to some traps stuff, the original is better, but then you have your converter and stuff like that. Now, so basically, like I was saying, is it gave you a bunch of stuff that has bigger inventory, better snap points, this, that, everything else. Now this is the S Plus item collector. And I'll have to go through and do a S Plus series at some point in time. We don't have time for it today, but they have changed a couple items, with this being one of them. So it used to be like a real metal ball, and now it's this guy. So there is that. And like I said, the gun changed too. I kind of covered the gun already. Once they get it fixed, I plan on doing another episode where I really get into the gun and how every little detail of it works. I'll do a S Plus video maybe one day and explain how those guys work and everything else with the S Plus. But S Plus is kind of a must now. I mean, you get used to playing with it, and it's hard to play without it. So everything just kind of works together, and you can transfer. Like I said, a lot to it. I had to get into it in another video. I need to quit talking about it for today. But anyways, these are the mods I use. They just help kind of take the grind out of the game for me, because I've been playing for a while, and like I said, flying across the map and different stuff like that, getting from one location to another, and it just really helps take that grind out and makes things easier. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. There's all those spots I was talking about. It's 10 spots instead of 3. I'm going to try to leave some information down in the description box for you, including a list of mods that I use now. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.